Hi, my name is Alicia, and I will be talking about the gendered body. So, discussing how gender and your body kind of are a shared dynamic and how they play off of each other. So, I want to start by defining what gender is. And gender is defined in the dictionary as the state of being male or female, typically used with reference to social and cultural differences rather than biological ones. So, the dictionary itself is telling us that gender isn't something based off of your biological features, so your reproductive organs or like X and Y chromosome. It's being based off of what society declares is masculine or feminine and how you fit those and which category you fall under. And so a lot of these ideas and stereotypes about what a man is and what a woman is kind of are very restrictive, and in society today it's been much more open, and men and women have kind of started to break these stereotypes. But typically, originally what it was women are kind of more passive, submissive. They stay at home, do the cooking, cleaning, and care for the kids in the house, while the man is the emulated one that is out providing for the family, working. He's tall, strong, like the head honcho pretty much. But where did these ideas come from? How did they come about? Was it something that someone just declared, women, you're going to stay in the house, men, you're going to go work? Or was it something that was more conditioned, or people were men and women conditioned this way? There is a quote from Karen Martin in her article, Becoming a Gendered Body, and it says, bodies are resources that must be trained, manipulated, cajoled, coaxed, organized, and in general disciplined. We use our bodies to construct our means of living, to take care of each other, and to pleasure each other. And this quote really resonated with me because it is very true. Like, our bodies are our temples. Like, they do everything for us. And the way that we use our bodies and we train them reflects a lot on us. And your body and the things that you do are all learned. You have to learn to walk from the time you're a kid, and then you have to learn math, science, how to read and write, and everything from in between. But there's a difference between learning and being gendered, and a lot of the times you don't notice how you're being gendered. And in Karen Martin's article, she does a case study about how in elementary schools there's a hidden curriculum. And so you aren't only being taught math and science, you're being taught how to be a male or female, is basically what she was saying. And it kind of sounds strange, like, what? It's something that is it's not very noticeable, but it happens when you were a kid at school. It happened with your families, like your parents gendered you, and society and the TV shows and what you wore. It all helped to identify who you are. So take a moment, think back to your childhood, think back to the kinds of clothes you wore, like really like young childhood, like elementary school. What clothes did your mom buy you? What kind of games and stuff did you play with your friends? If you did chores, what kind of chores did you do? Because for me, thinking back, I have an older brother, and so when we would be given chores, I would be given the ones in the house where I'd be asked to clean the dishes or vacuum, and my brother was asked to take out the trash or clean up the dog poop, more something that is more for a man to do. Games and activities wise, I played with Barbies when I was a kid. I played dress up with my friends, and it was a lot of fun. But we also did things like we also loved to go build forts up in the hillside, get dirty and stuff. Just because I enjoyed the stereotypically girly things, there's also manly things that we enjoyed doing as well. But looking back on all these things and how my mom would dress me up in dresses and stuff, it all shaped me to becoming a woman and to being ladylike. And I'm proud to say that I'm a female. Yeah, I'm a girl, no shame. But the thing is when someone's like, oh, that's not ladylike, or you're not acting like a lady, that kind of, it irks me the wrong way, because I know I have good manners. I'm a nice person. Like, there's manners that everyone should have. But just because I'm not being ladylike doesn't mean that I'm not having good manners. Like, I was shaped, my childhood, as like we just discussed, like, there were different things that shaped me to be a girl. But just because I might not sit with my legs crossed, or I might want to like lounge in my chair like this, doesn't mean that I'm not a female. Just because, like, those are not only things that a male can do. Anyone can do those. And it's those kind of things that we were taught as kids that are gendered. And saying right from wrong, like, you can't do that because you're a girl, that's not okay. But through, as growing up and stuff, that's what you're taught. But that's you being gendered. That is the elements around you guiding you and shaping you to be that gender. As a kid, I never was really big into cheerleading and dance and those girly things. I got into soccer and loved it, and I've been playing for many years. But just because I chose sports over the stereotypical girl things doesn't make me any less of a female. And it goes both ways. If a boy loved to do tap dance or something, like, that doesn't make him any less of a man. He can still go off and be a CEO somewhere and be emulated as a male, but just because he did something more feminine as a kid doesn't change that. So yeah, all of these things that I kind of discussed with how, the things I asked you to think about going back to your childhood, all of these things were you being gendered. And those are things that helped create your identity. And for some people, they stuck with it. They, boys doing sports and stuff, they like got all into it. Some, though, probably like, not for me, and went their own path. But in the chapter by Lorber and Martin, The Socially Constructed Body, they discuss how people are very quickly gendered. And all of these things that we just discussed with how growing up in your childhood shaped you to be one way goes into this. And it's because our society has to have labels. They have to know if you're one way or the other. And so Larber and Martin describe that being gendered, a person will be gendered because a gender neutral or androgynous or unisex body is basically a curse in our world, where people have to know quickly and precisely to place others that they have just encountered or just met briefly. People need to know, like, you fit this category or you fit this category. If not, they don't know how to act. And it's silly. It's that gender and something that society has constructed to be one way or the other when there's a lot of gray area, You, just because I'm a female doesn't mean I have to stay within every feminine boundary. I have masculine traits. There's plenty of men that have feminine traits, Like, being gendered is something that society has put on people. And a lot of people these days are coming out of that and don't fit one or the other, but have traits of both, some more mixed than others. So to kind of wrap this up, your body and gender go hand in hand. The things that your body does, the things that your body allows you to do, and how you use your body helps to gender you and guide you into that. But even though your body has been molded from childhood, doesn't mean you can't break away from that. And I think it's perfectly fine if you don't fit one or the other. But for many people, they do kind of fall under one category. But they might still have and show characteristics of the other gender. There's no right or wrong. And being gendered is something that we grow up with, and still generations today will be growing up with. But it's not something that has to stay as is. So thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and leave your comments and let me know your thoughts. So thanks.